So Akmal did decide to stay at that 105. A bit low, her best is 115. So it'll be interesting to see if she takes big jumps here or maybe is shooting for a more conservative attempt here in the snatch.
Yeah, 115, which she did at the Olympic Games, at the Asian Championships a couple of months ago. She snatched 114 kilos. So this is a bit light, but she probably knows she's going to be first out. So she wants to take
strong.
Big jumps. Yeah, very easy opener. You know, these plus 87s often get a little bit more fatigued from these attempts. The attempts are a little bit heavier, so of course they take more out of them. Being able to recover from such heavy lifts, not the easiest thing. So if you know that you're going to be following yourself, you want to take bigger jumps, open up a little bit lighter.
Yeah, exactly. So this brings Iovi out here at 108.
Okay, so it's Iovi from Ecuador who wants 110 kilos. She snatched 115 kilos at the Pan American Championships. She snatched 110 or more at every meet for, well, years and years now. Her best snatch, 119 kilos from the South American Championships back in 2021. So we know that she's probably maybe even eyeing up as much as 120 kilos here for this session.
Yeah, she could be contender there in the snatch for sure. So 110 is actually not too low actually for her. Checks the clock, she wants to wait. Very comfortable. That was incredibly light. Yeah, did a great job bringing that bar back into her legs.
Yeah, that was very strong. Now, Max, this is the first session that we get to where the athletes won't have undergone the weight cut to try and make weight. It's the first session where the athlete can basically just weigh in as they want, as long as they weigh over 87 kilos. And we see most of these women weighing somewhere between 120 up to, in case of Li Wenwen, the strongest of the pack, 150 kilos. And of course, at this point, it's trying to gain as much muscle mass as possible.
Yep.
So other weight, of course, comes along with that, but these athletes have an enormous amount of muscle mass to lift these heavy weights.
This Akmal 110 taking those predictable 5-kilo jumps. Her opener was very easy. Oh, another strong snatch. Very good so far for her. She's got 2 on the board.
Great speed as well.
Yeah, probably taking 115 on the third would be my guess.
So we have Crismary Santana from Dominican Republic, who will probably be up next with 112 kilos, but then we have 3 athletes wanting 115 of their openers. No doubt Iovi and Akmal also want 115, so there could be as many as 5 athletes here who want 115 kilos. And this is where it gets a little bit more difficult for these athletes.
So 111, this is going to change. It's going to bring out Iovi here. Nope, it's going to be Crismary Santana here at 112.
For her first attempt. Robles to follow.
112 kilogramos a plataforma de República Dominicana. Crismary Santana, primer intento.
And she was snatching up to 110 kilos in the training hall a few days ago. Looks very comfortable, so I don't imagine this should pose too much of an obstacle for her. She snatched 118 kilos at the Pan American Champs this year.
Very easy.
Yeah. Little hop back.
Yep.
Drops under the bar.
I think we're seeing a little bit more conservative attempts here than we've seen in some sessions. These lifters obviously know that Li Wenwen is basically taking gold as she makes just her opening lifts. So they're probably being intelligent enough to sort of take numbers that are comfortable, get on the board, No one here wants to end without a total in the snatch.
So presumably now we'll jump to 115 kilos. We know that Iovi wants it, Nurul Akmal wants it, Sarah Robles wants it, though that may change. Park Hye-jeong, Sun Young-hee. All of these lifters want 115 kilos. Emily Campbell currently has put in 117 for her opener, which would make sense. She tends to be the kind of athlete who jumps a kilo per competition in the snatch. She's certainly done that in the last few competitions. I think, in fact, every competition she's been to from 120 kilos in the snatch, she's bumped it up by a kilo at each subsequent competition. So 125 might be on the cards for her today if she takes 4 kilo jumps from that.
We're going to see some movement here. Robles is going to 118. Yeah, and just like that, we're already over the 115 mark for Robles. So
such an experienced athlete, Sarah Robles, and an athlete who we saw snatch 120 kilos in the training hall. Okay, Park Hye-jeong, this is one of the lifts that is, well, it's highly anticipated. We know so little about what she's going to be able to do on an international senior stage. We've been following her for years in training, incredibly strong, particularly in the clean and jerk. If she can snatch within a few kilos of the podium, she's going to be extremely dangerous by the time we get to the clean and jerks. But she's only 19.
Definitely unfortunate.
Yeah, maybe some nerves. First big senior international meet.
Yeah, she's young. She is, like you said, only 15 or 19.
115 stays on the barbell, representing Ecuador.
So we'll see here what she ends up doing. We've seen that a few times here from the South Koreans. Just a little bit of struggle on those openers, not making the first couple snatches. She looks like she's maybe in a little pain with her elbow. Anytime that bar rolls back behind your head like that, if you hold on just a little bit too long, it can put a little bit of lateral pressure on the elbow, and that's just very uncomfortable. Hopefully there's no injury there.
And she's fortunate to have so many other athletes wanting 115 kilos that she's going to have more than the 2 minutes that she would have if she was just following herself. Iovi now, she hit 110 kilos on her opener. Her best is 119, so she's nearing that now. $15 on the clock. She's taking her time. She's down at 10. Getting all the rest she can. 5 seconds. Wow.
Yeah, really solid.
And that roll in that she has of the bar towards her, I mean, she does look happy. But that, presumably, unless you've really dialed that in over the years, has to add some level of variability to the start position of the lift, even before the bar's off the floor. So she must be totally accustomed to how she does that every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a skill in and of itself to be able to roll that bar in perfectly, initiate the pull right off the floor exactly what you want, but she seems excellent in that technique.
And it's actually something that we know is used by the super heavyweight athletes a little bit more frequently than not.
Yeah.
It's not so easy for them with their slightly larger bodies to find tension without the bar moving in towards them like that. I know that Enzo Kuoki, who's sat here watching on right now, as one of his training partners, Emily Campbell, will be coming out to lift. He recently adopted that technique. Rather than lowering his hips with a stationary bar, he now has his hips already lowered, then rolls the bar in, and then pulls. Park Hye-jeong, she missed 115 on her opener, threw it behind.
Much better.
So much nicer.
Yeah, she looks to be good there.
Yeah, she really is a rising star.
Definitely dealing with an elbow thing. No, it's not the most reassuring.
You can see there's a bit of shine on the elbow, so they've definitely sprayed it with something.
Yeah. Nurul Akmal. Soon to follow.
Yeah, she doesn't feel happy about it. Hopefully it doesn't take her out of the competition. She can maybe make a slightly smaller jump on her third.
So here comes Akmal for 115.
Now this is a big lift for Noura Lakmal. As we mentioned, her best is this weight. She did it at the Olympic Games, so to be back at this number so soon after competing in Tokyo is very solid. She hit 114 kilos at the Asian Championships. That was just 2 months ago. She has great mobility.
Wow. Just as you said it, she found an extra 5 inches in that bottom position. Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that she's able to get into the starting position with such deep hips, without any sort of dynamic start.
Yeah.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, they're all happy about that.
Indonesia, we've said before during this week, arguably the most exciting, underrated team in weightlifting at the moment. They now have a world record holder, they have junior world record holders, and they have so many athletes who are right up in these A sessions. Multiple world record holders, in fact. Okay, Sun Young-hee, she is the reigning world champion. She snatched 123 kilos, I believe it was, at the last World Championships, but she beat that at the South Korean Games, which were 2 months ago.
A very strong snatch again. Yeah, great speed, great height. There's plenty of room for more weight in her technique.
Yeah, that's so comfortable for her. I mean, she's an athlete who's been able to lift that weight for a long time now.
116 kilograms stays on the barbell.
Certain level of confidence that comes knowing that you're the reigning world champion, no doubt. And outside of Liu and Wen, she's certainly the most dangerous threat for that silver medal. Okay, Santana now, 116 kilos, 4-kilo jump. She hasn't ever snatched 120 kilos, so she might be sizing that up today if she makes this.
Wow. Very good turnover. That was right in the right spot, quick, and just put it right there.
She has so much speed in that final. It's almost, once she's turned over, then all of a sudden as she's pulling under, the speed just increases so much.
Yeah, it moves very well for an athlete in the plus 87s.
Okay, it looks like Emily Campbell from Team GB will be up next. There are 5 athletes to open. It's her plus Duan Gason, Liu Wen, and Sarah Robles and Abbas, but she's bumping up now to 118 kilos.
So Santana's up 2. I think we're going to see possibly Halima Abbas come out here at 118, unless we see that bump as well.
Should force Halima and Sarah Robles out.
At 118 kilograms. Halima Abbas, Egypt.
So many interesting battles within this session.
I think we might even see that.
Okay. Sarah might now come.
Nope, Abbas is out.
You know, Max, at the Olympics, we got to see Sarah Robles versus Emily Campbell for that silver medal spot. You obviously from the USC, me from Team GB, so it should be fun to watch our athletes battle it out once again.
That's definitely. Well, we'll see. We'll see how the friendship holds up.
What friendship? Okay, here's Abbas now, opening attempt at 118 kilos.
Wow.
She pulled out so fast off the
power
floor.
Snatch there.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
One of
the world champs last year.
Too.
Yeah, she made 115 last year, but prior to that has snatched 120 kilos or more twice. Those were pretty recently in 2019, but clearly she's in potentially the shape of her life here with that opener.
Yeah.
Okay, finally then, Max. I think we might see Sarah Robles, who's moved around a little bit.
Nope.
Robles moves
Looks like
up.
Emily
now as well.
Campbell's coming up first.
Emily Campbell, Great Britain, first
Let's
attempt.
see here.
Time begins.
Yeah, Robles jumped to 20. Does Campbell take 18, or is she going
My
to go up?
feeling is that Emily will take this. She hasn't ever opened at 120 or more. Oh no, she's going up to 119.
Still her, though.
But it will be her.
The lifter, yeah.
She must be feeling good. 19, 22, 25 perhaps, 3 kilo jumps.
Clock resumes.
Definitely numbers that she's more than capable of. She told us that she snatched 124 kilos in training this year. We saw her snatch 124 kilos at the Commonwealth Games as well. She made 162 kilos in the clean and jerk there as well. So she really is in the shape of her life. There we go.
A little bit forward there. Didn't quite turn it over as much, but it's a heavy opener for her. So.
And that's a good
Yeah, the thing
first
with
lift for
Emily is,
Campbell.
you know, not only is she incredibly strong, she's so athletic. Yeah. She was a great athlete prior to competing in weightlifting. The way she's able to take those steps forward to save a slightly off trajectory is so impressive.
Exactly.
And she's so much fun in the training hall. You know, we spend a lot of time filming her, talking with her. She told us that training has been really good recently. She's had some very cool training camps in the Netherlands, in the USA, and she mentions some of the athletes that she's been fortunate enough to train with. Enzo Korgi, who sat watching her now from the Netherlands, and Solfrid Coanda from Norway, who recently became world champion for the first time. So she trains with some extremely talented lifters when she's not just training at her home gym at Atlas.
Yeah, we've actually had a chance to sit down with some lifters throughout this competition and get some interviews, and a lot of them reference training camps. They do a lot of traveling around the world, going to different countries, training with what we would assume are their opponents. Everyone's kind of working together, but definitely interesting to know that we're seeing that. 119 for Park Hyo-jong. Oh, very good. She gets so far onto her toes at the top of that pole. It almost looks like the bar is going to stay out in front of her, but she does a great job getting that behind her head.
So 119 kilos is not what she would have hoped for necessarily. This is her first senior competition, but she did compete at the Junior World Championships this year. She snatched 121 kilos there, but we know how incredibly dangerous she is in the clean jerk. She hit 161 kilos there. That was sort of all she needed. But we know that she can probably push up towards the 170 mark.
Yeah.
Final attempt now for Santana. Now, does this equal her best? No, this will be a 1 kilo personal best. She hit 118 at the Pan American Champs this year. Definitely one of the taller, faster athletes in the session.
Yeah, she did a great job in her second attempt. She did it exactly the way she should have, but just unlocked at the bottom there. Turned it over well, caught it in bottom, but didn't quite have it locked out enough to stabilize.
Yeah, she actually won the Pan American Championships as an 87 kilo lifter back in 2021, and then began increasing in size to make to try and be a little bit more competitive in the super heavyweight category. Okay, Sarah Robles now at 120 kilos. She hit this in the training hall about a week ago. It looks pretty good. She's the 2017 world champion. She's the bronze medalist from this Olympic Games. We saw her snatch 125 kilos this year at the Pan American Championships, which is not far off her best ever. Wow.
Yeah, very powerful.
So explosive. She's in good shape here, clearly. And she's one of the athletes who, as her career has gone on, her clean and jerk potentially has dropped a little bit, but her snatching, she's been able to stay in incredible shape. I mean, she hit 128 kilos at the Olympic Games, but she hasn't been over 155 kilos since 2019, where she hit a really remarkable 160. But since then, she's been around the 155, 154 sort of range. So we may even see her get into the medals in the snatches, not quite in the clean and jerk, and then it's going to come down to whether the mix of the two is enough.
Yeah.
Here's the gold medalist from the Snatch from last year. She made 124 kilos in Uzbekistan. Took the silver in the total above Emily Campbell, behind Sun Young Hee.
Oh, bit of a struggle at the bottom there. She stabilized it, had a small twist, but definitely on the board.
She
is extremely fast. I mean, when she turns over, it's almost like the bar is only moving horizontally. There's not a lot of height, and she just almost wedges herself under it, and it doesn't move.
Yeah, very fast.
120 kilogramos para el último intento de Elise Ayoví, representa al Ecuador.
It's great to see so many athletes from other sessions turning up to watch this. As we mentioned before, here supporting Emily Campbell, we can see Enzo Kworgi, we can see David Leety, Ayn Anderson, Salfred Koranda over opposite us watching on, and then there are athletes from Indonesia, from Thailand, from China all around us as well, supporting their home athletes. 120 kilos here for Ayoví. This will be a personal best for her.
Oh, beautiful. That was the easiest of the three.
That is an enormous lift, and that beats her 119 kilo snatch from 2021 at the South American Championships.
Wow, she is just ecstatic about that.
Yeah.
It's an emotional day for that.
And she needs that because she is a little bit weaker in the clean and jerk, if you can call 149 kilos weak in the clean and jerk, which perhaps I ought not, but weaker than some of these other athletes at least. So to get such a big snatch at 120 is extremely important for her.
She's in a great spot here with that lift.
All but one athlete have opened up, but what's remarkable is how many athletes have only taken one attempt. That's how competitive this is. Here's a second attempt, a 5 kilo jump for Sun Young Hee.
She did open at 116, so...
Yeah, a little bit low just to get on the board, and it did look easy. Brilliant technician.
Yep. Oh, a little bit of a fight there, some balance issues.
Yeah.
She's there now at the lead with 121, so she just passed all of these lifters with that 5 kilo jump from her 116.
Now what's incredible about Sun Young Hee, and I've spoken about this before, is that she first began competing at a senior level in 2011. And she would regularly place 10th, 13th, 12th, that sort of thing. Are the jury reviewing this?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Okay, I'll get back to that then. What are they? I don't know exactly what they're seeing. We've got a nice feed of it here. I mean, there's...
right as she stood up.
As she starts standing, there's maybe a wobble.
Looks like there's some kind of unlocking.
Seems very harsh.
It's almost imperceptible. Let's see here.
After review by the jury has confirmed good lift.
Okay, it's a good lift, and she's relieved there. But she's just remarkable because, of course, she competed for so long, 11 years at an international level. And then for so long she was placing outside of the medals. She finally got into the medals. And then last year, finally, she gets into the gold medal position, and just such a strong athlete.
Robles the athlete now. The barbell remains at 121.
Robles will definitely not be taking 121.
Chaidi to follow.
Looks like Campbell is up here.
So it's currently written in to be Robles, but they know that there's going to be a change put in, so Emily is stood there waiting.
121.
So Chaidi actually has 121, but that's going to change as well.
Maybe Emily isn't going to be. No, she probably will be at 122. There'll be some changes. Duankason Chaidi will move up. Emily's asked for 122. They're going to load that now.
That will take the barbell to 122
so Max, that's a 3 kilo jump. Now, I'm not the best at maths, but if you add another 3 kilos to this, you get to 125. So we might finally see Emily Campbell lifting 125 on a third attempt.
Yeah, it'll be an exciting day for that.
Oh no, she's not going to be up next.
Yeah, we see some
have
more
more
movement.
athletes. Yeah, Abbas Halima from Egypt. Now, she probably is the tallest athlete here. Pulls the bar with unbelievable speed right from the start.
Right.
She's not someone who accelerates it a lot, but she almost doesn't need to because it's already moving at peak velocity.
Yeah, the taller the athlete, the faster that bar is going to be moving. They have so much more time to accelerate it. Getting under it isn't nearly as difficult as well. She almost powered her opener.
Wow.
Definitely deeper than the first, but very solid snatch for her.
And does she pull looking down?
Good
Yep.
lift.
It did look like her head was
does,
maybe,
yeah.
she was looking at the floor there.
Very much like a deadlift, more so than a snatch.
On the barbell, second attempt. Emily Campbell, Great Britain.
Okay, Emily Campbell now there. Dave Sawyer, one of 2 coaches from back home who coaches her. Cyril Martin, of course, will be watching on from the gym at Atlas. But Dave always at these competitions with her. Is 122 kilos. This is 2 kilos below her personal best. She hit 124 kilos at the Commonwealth Games this summer, where she took the gold medal.
Yes, this will position her perfectly for a record attempt on her third. Just a touch forward on the opener. Had to step under to get it.
There we go.
Cleans it up perfectly for this one.
That's the best of the 2 so far for Emily Campbell. Always a pleasure to watch lift. She's clearly enjoying herself every time she steps on the platform.
A real testament to her athleticism as well, as you had mentioned before. Just the ability to come back and correct the movement, correct that finite technique on a heavier lift.
Now Emily is one of the smaller athletes in the category. She weighed in at the Commonwealth Games at 124 kilos. Prior to that, she's actually been under 120 kilos for a little while.
Moves up, that keeps the barbell at
When I spoke with her about it, she actually mentioned just how difficult it is to try and maintain that kind of body weight and how she notices the difference. So her strength in the clean and jerk significantly better when she's able to get over that 120 kilo mark.
Yeah, that's almost an aspect of the sport that's not really often talked about. It's just controlling body weight, whether it's keeping it down or keeping it up or just maintaining where you're at. That's a whole other element to the sport that occurs for these athletes that just can be challenging. So some movement here. We're having athletes jump around a bit, trying to leapfrog each other, hopefully to get that final heaviest snatch.
And she's moved up, then we'll call back to the platform.
Basically, everyone here is looking to secure a podium spot, at least in the snatch. Abbas is in first right now with 122, followed by Campbell at 22 as well. And then we have Sun Young Hee at 21.
Emily Campbell.
So basically, every one of these next made lifts is going to rearrange the order of these
almost like it's the World Championships.
Podiums.
So many exciting changes. Who will lift next? Sarah Robles, United States, 124.
Un kilo más, 124 kilogramos, y viene de los Estados Unidos de América, Sarah Robles. Segundo intento en el arranque, 1, 2, 4.
Chaidi to follow.
124 now becoming the weight that seems to be the consensus. This would be Robles' second.
And
this is a big second attempt for her.
Chaidi, Thailand, second attempt.
Best, I believe, is 128.
Yeah, 128. And that was actually a few years back. She did a 290 total off that 128, making a 162 clean and jerk afterward. But really, she's done 128 as well at the Olympics. But most of her snatch competitions have ended in that 24 to 25 range.
Now, I want to say that this might also be a personal best for Dwankason from Thailand. 123, I think she made last year at the World Championships. No, sorry, 124, of course. She won the gold there. So this equals her best.
All right, 124.
Wow.
Yep, solid. Great timing at the bottom there. She stayed with it. It twisted a little. She fought it.
She held on to that
definitely in
snatch for a
shape here,
good lift.
tying her best ever snatch here on her second attempt. She clearly is looking
124
for
remains on the
breaking
barbell.
new ground in this
Representing
competition.
Korea, Song
Yeah,
Young
both
Hee.
times she's had to sit there for a few seconds to stabilize it before she feels ready to come up with it. Other athletes like Emily Campbell come straight up. Very different styles. Here's Sung Young Hee, final attempt, 124 kilos. This will be a kilo over what she hit at the World Championships last year, which will put her into good position considering how strong she is in the clean and jerk. One of the athletes who can get over 160 kilos if she needs it. She probably will.
It's a great pull. She caught it, but it just kept going back. So she will have 121 on her second. It's going to leave her in fourth, and we still have one to open.
124, please. A 2 kilo increase for her third attempt.
But she does have the biggest clean and jerk behind Lee Wen-Wen. She did 159 kilos last year, but since then, she hit 167 kilos. Yeah, 167 at the South Korean Games. It was a national competition of sorts, so
and Campbell now the athlete.
that's enormous if she needs it.
Yeah, it's a very big clean and
representing
jerk.
Great Britain, Emily Campbell.
So Campbell at 24, probably going to bump to 25.
Yeah,
I think
so.
Assume that. We're waiting here on what Robles is going to do. I'd have to imagine 25 is the biggest jump she'll take. Yep, here we go. Robles is up.
Please. Taking a second attempt. Representing the United States, Sarah Robles.
So this is a very big attempt for Robles. This basically ties what she's done at most competitions
recently.
A lift she can definitely make. It's really a question of does she go up from here or where she goes from here. Yeah, 128 being her best. Could be positioning herself here for a new personal record even. Took a 5 kilo jump from first to second.
Wow.
Just as good as the first.
Yeah.
She may be eyeing up that personal record in the snatch here.
Good Faith Robles.
Yep, it's definitely possible. She pulls it very fast. Huge explosion at the top.
125 stays on the barbell, representing
Fierce
Egypt.
competitor.
Third attempt, Halima
Of course, coached by
Abbas.
Tim Swords.
A man who's coached probably thousands of athletes.
Yeah.
All out of his garage as well. Phenomenal program he's built over the years. So Abbas taking 125. This just equals Robles. Robles was the first to do 25, I believe. But Abbas has a strong clean and jerk, so just trying to hang in the pack here. She had to catch the second one quite a bit lower than the first.
Ooh. She gets out from it.
Give her a hand, folks.
Yeah. And in fact, tremendous strength to be able to absorb that bar.
Yeah,
it didn't crash on her. Almost looked like she lowered a snatch grip press.
It did.
Just goes to show how physically strong she really is. So 125 still
Final
in the top
attempt,
snatch here.
125 kilograms. Emily Campbell, Great Britain.
Campbell.
Okay, this will be massive for Emily
Yeah.
if she makes this. Personal best. Such a consistent athlete. Makes far more attempts than she misses. 124 she made this year in training and in competition. This will be an all-time personal best. She's had a bit of ongoing knee pain, but she says she's pretty much on top of it. Oh, and she can't.
So unexpected. Her hand popped off the bar. She lost her grip.
We haven't seen that yet.
Wondering if she's completely confused. I have not seen that maybe
for a long
5 times my whole career. You know,
very rarely.
Such an unexpected thing. I don't even know if she wears tape on her thumb. Oftentimes you see that with tape. Maybe the tape slips. She is definitely not happy with that. Had the strength, had the ability, but it's a fluke accident.
Yeah, more than strong enough there. Such a weird thing when that happens.
Yeah.
You know, you can see athletes really throwing themselves back off the platform because they have so much force.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, the hand comes off and they just...
It's definitely a bit unexpected as well in this weight class where athletes generally have, I mean, they're using the same bar that the 45s use. So their hands generally have very little issue wrapping around that bar completely. Just a fluke.
So 2 attempts remain now for, well, 1 for Chai-Di here, 1 for Sarah Robles, and then 3 for Li Wenwen.
Best of the 3. That was the strongest snatch she had all day. She is now in the lead in the snatches here with 126.
Good lift,
we still have Robles with 1 more attempt. And then, well, it's the Li Wenwen show after that.
Only 4 attempts
Absolutely
remaining in the snatch.
brilliant
First
lifting
up,
there. In fact, we've had more athletes go 3 for 3 here than we've seen in a while.
This is an incredible
4
session.
lifters so far have done it.
Robles, United States.
3, sorry, have done it. Potentially 4 now. So this is massive. This is the kind of shape that Sarah needs to be in to stay up into the medal situation. This would be big. She would have a massive lead over her main competitors.
Yeah.
She'd be 6 kilos over Sun Young Hee. She'd be 5 over Emily Campbell.
She's being a little maybe conservative here. She could have possibly taken a shot at a personal record, but we do know she has some competition at home. She has to make sure she gets that Olympic spot for the United States.
Wow.
Better than the first 2.
Oh, wow. She looks like she could have snatched 130 kilos. That is so impressive for a 3-time Olympian. Oh my word. And that is a great place for her to be in. We know that she hasn't been able to get over 155 recently in the clean and jerk. Some of the athletes who will be chasing her after the snatch will be wanting to, well, they'll be wanting to out clean and jerk her quite a lot, but Sarah's put herself in a strong position.
So Li Wenwen has dropped down to 130 because, well, she basically has the choice to do whatever she wants. Her strength is so far ahead of the field.
Just unbelievable. I mean, this is 18 kilos below her world record. This is something like 87% of her best snatch in competition. This should not really pose any issues for her.
It must feel so good to be able to open so light. I know you're going to win.
Yeah.
We'll see here, 130. Very easy.
It's just so impressive. You know, she turned up internationally as a teenager with world records, and she's just been able to maintain that for so long now. She's a world champion, but I believe only a 1-time world champion, 2019. She's the Olympic champion. Just, I mean,
with that attempt, she secured
what
first place in the
what
snatch.
type of jumps do you think we can see here? I mean,
2 minutes on the
realistically,
clock,
if she's even considering a world record attempt at 149 kilos, she'll have to make a 10-kilo jump here to 140 at the very least.
141 is what she's decided on, so an 11-kilo jump, I guess.
Is that the...
That's
the biggest jump we've seen?
I was just going to say.
You know, it's actually not. We saw Miso hit 217 and then request 231. He didn't come out for it.
Well, she has yet to come out as well, I guess. We'll see.
He at least asked for 14 kilos.
Yeah, that's an absolutely remarkable jump. But, you know, she has the strength to do that. She's in a position to do whatever she wants, so she could potentially not take her next 2 and still have no issue winning this session.
And if she was only interested in making sure she became a world champion, she would not take this jump.
She would have done
There's
135.
only one reason to take this jump, and that's to get to a world record of 149 kilos.
Well, she knows what the audience wants here. Big attempts, 141.
And she presumably now trains much like we've seen Lasha Talakadze do recently, with shortened rest periods, because she knows that she's going to be following herself every single attempt.
Yeah, it's a unique situation when you know you're always going to be following yourself with basically all of your attempts because you're in the absolute pinnacle of the session.
Yeah.
So this 141 will definitely give us an indication as to what shape she's in.
So she snatched 140 kilos at the Olympic Games. She snatched 148 kilos world record at the Asian Championships a few months prior to that. She's been over 140 so many times in her career. She's had multiple world records.
This is an absolutely huge attempt. 141.
Oh,
just a hair forward. She looks good for it.
Yeah.
Looks good for more even. We'll see.
What do you think she'll do?
Well, it's one of those moments. Does she go for broke and take a shot at 149?
In many reasons, if she...
This 141 really does nothing for her except best her.
And even if she doesn't make it, if she just ends up with 130, it's still not going to be a problem for her because she can just open with 170 kilos and get that gold. Nobody else will be able to total 300.
Yeah.
So you have to wonder if she's just going to give it a go. But if she does,
after the final snatch,
it will essentially been a 19-kilo
have a 10-minute break to come back,
spread
allow the
between
athletes
made
to
lifts.
rest and recover and prepare for the clean and jerk portion of the session.
So 141
This
still
is the
written
plus
in for
87
Li Wenwen.
kilogram Group A at the
I have a feeling
IWF
she may
World
just
Championships,
She may just
repeat
take
this.
it, yeah.
Colombia.
It might be the smart thing to do. It's not necessarily what we want to see,
Yeah.
but it might be the smarter move.
She could open even lighter in the clean and jerk if she wanted after this. Make her whole day just a bit more of a walk in the park.
Here she comes, give her a hand.
So yeah, it looks like she will go for it. A massive attempt here, 141 kilos. Now she's held 2 snatch world records, 147 and 148 prior to that. The 2 previous records were held by Tatiana Kasharina at 145 and 146.
She had the pull, just needed to get it turned over. Oh, so much better.
Yeah.
Little bit.
Oh. Had to take some slow steps forward there.
You know, I feel like we've always jinxed everyone when we speak too soon, but no matter how much we jinxed her, her strength was just too much for us. Wow. She's happy with that. That does best her most recent snatch of 140.
From the Olympics, yeah.
And come back with the exciting
She's in incredible shape.
And that puts her 14 kilos ahead of Sarah Robles into the lead, which is such a strong position for her to be in. And a lot of these athletes here, Max, realistically, when they turned up to compete, they saw her on the scoreboard, they don't even consider trying to compete with her.
No.
They just acknowledge that she's there, they acknowledge that the gold medal's wrapped up, and they battle it out for silver and bronze. And in many ways, getting a silver here is, you know, almost akin to getting a gold medal in another category.
Yep. Yeah, it's so challenging. This is an interesting session. This is the best session we've seen so far. A total of
only 6 missed lifts out of 30.
It's been the complete inverse of that the entire competition.
Yeah.
So good lift. I mean, this lifting is exceptional considering we've seen the top in the world struggling to make this number of makes in a session, and we've got these lifters basically only missing a few.
Yeah, 80% made lifts. Nobody has missed more than 1 attempt.
That's incredible.
4 athletes going 3 for 3. Yeah, it's been fantastic. What a start to the women's plus 87. The gold medal, as I'm sure you're all well aware, goes to Li Wenwen, 141 kilos. The silver in the snatch, once again, Sarah Robles getting another World Championships medal, 127 kilos. And then a kilo behind her, Chaidi Dwankason from Thailand. She went 3 for 3 also at 126 kilos. And then there's a little bit of a drop off there, not a whole lot, but we have Emily Campbell with 122. She bizarrely lost her hook grip mid-pull just as she got to the explosive part, and sort of flew back, wasn't even able to get under the bar, which is such a shame. She was clearly frustrated. It didn't take, I don't know, it wasn't hard to read what she was saying when she walked down the tunnel. It's quite clear what she was mouthing to her coach.
Yeah, it will be interesting too, because Campbell and Robles had a bit of a fight at the Olympics.
Yeah.
And so they're in a similar position. Campbell behind her just a bit by 5 kilos. That might be enough to make the clean and jerks here a little more exciting. Campbell obviously the stronger of the two in that lift, but with a 5 kilo deficit.
I think she was in a 5 kilo deficit at the Olympics.
Oh, so it's almost a,
or
it's
might
almost
be
a rematch.
6, in fact. I think Sarah snatched 128. Emily, I think, might have snatched only 122 again. Let's take a look at that and see if we can figure it out. So Emily at the Olympics snatched 122, so 6 kilos down. So she's now 5 kilos down. She's a stronger athlete than she was then. So on behalf of Great Britain, Max, good luck with the clean and jerks. I think you're going to need it.
Wow.
But the battle should be good. I mean, we can't count out Sun Young Hee. You know, she only went 2 for 3, but she's got a 167 kilo clean and jerk.
Yeah.
Park Hye-jeong, I mean, I don't know. I really don't know what she's going to be able to do.
She's a big
She might be able
mark.
to hit 170.
Yeah, huge question mark for us. You know, we've seen this before. Lifters posting, or a secret video maybe slips out into the hands of a weightlifting house correspondent, and we find out that there's some absolutely huge lifts being done in training, maybe off blocks. It's always a question mark, because what can they do, from the floor?
Right.
And on top of that, what can they do in the competition? It's certainly an exciting piece of information for us, though. We know she's strong. We know she's capable. It's just that question mark of what can she do here.
Well, she hit 161 kilos at the Junior World Championships, but we know that she can probably go over that if she needs to.
Yeah.
This is her first senior international, and it may be that the team has held her back somewhat because it's been such a relatively easy win as a junior and youth lifter.
Yeah.
So they might let her a bit more loose here.
What it tells us as coaches, though, or tells us really as the commentary here, if we know they have these giant lifts in training, then we know the capability exists for them to maybe go for that third attempt that's a Hail Mary, 10-kilo jump or something. So you can't count them out.
Right.
We're not looking at someone who's maybe just barely breaking into new ground, makes a 1 kilogram PR attempt on their third. She may be one who comes from behind and snags a medal.
Yeah.
Because of a big attempt.
So we have 5 minutes now to go until we're back underway with this women's category. We're going to be back later as well. After this session, we have the men's 109 kilo session, where we get to see the return of 2016 Olympic champion from Uzbekistan, Ruslan Nurudinov. He took the silver medal, I believe, at the World Championships last year behind his teammate Akbar Jurayev, who will be competing tomorrow in the plus 109s. And Ruslan, always one of those athletes who you always think he might be eyeing up the world record. He's hit it a couple of times in his career. He's done it at 105. He's done it at 109. He holds that world record currently at 241 kilos. We have very, very little information as to what shape he's in. But I'd be shocked if he wasn't following himself for quite a few of these attempts. So we'll have to see if he's got almost the fitness and ability to recover fast enough to take some big attempts today.
Yeah, he's one of those athletes that's just been, he's so experienced, so seasoned. I don't think it would be a situation where he didn't account for what might happen on the platform, knowing exactly what he needs to take as far as timing and just being prepared. He's such an experienced lifter.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the best technique you'll really ever see. Makes tremendous use of his strength that he has, which, he has a lot of strength. When you compare it to the athletes in this category this year, he's probably the strongest physically there. But in the past, there have been competitions where he's won or at least podiumed above other athletes who are clearly physically stronger. He's just, like you said, he's so experienced. His technique is so refined that he can get away with a minor deficit in his strength.
Yeah.
And then, of course, tomorrow we have the strongest men in the world battling it out. Hopefully it's as exciting as this women's plus 87s category has been. We get to see a lot of athletes who've been over 200 kilos in the snatch. Lash Talakadze Akbar Jarayev, Gormanasian, Vrazdat Lalian, probably Simon Martirosyan. Ali Davoudi hit 200 in the training hall the other day. Assad Man. It's just unbelievable how strong that men's plus 109 category is going to be. And it strikes me as one of those ones where in the women's plus 87s, the most exciting portion, I think, is in the clean and jerk. They seem to be more clean and jerk specialists in the women's plus 87s. In the men's plus 109s, it's more the snatch, I think, that gets exciting.
Yeah, well, we have Lasha, obviously, who's driven that number up to an astronomical 225 kilos. But, you know, it does overshadow completely the absolute craziness that is a 216 snatch from Gormanasian, and then a handful of 210 and 200 plus snatches. Those are no joke.
No. Yeah, that's absolutely enormous, and it's definitely possible that we'll see a few athletes hopefully over the 205 mark. So we get the yellows on the board. We might see 4 or 5 athletes in that position, which would be very, very cool. Okay, so 2 minutes to go now, and we'll be back underway. Let's take a quick look once again at the positions so far. The leader going into the clean and jerks, no surprise, the Olympic champion Li Wenwen. She snatched 141 kilos. She missed it on a second attempt, but she came back and made it on her third. The silver medalist, Sarah Robles from the USA, 3 for 3, 127 kilos. Bronze, Thailand, 3 for 3, 126 kilos. And then the runner-up in 4th place in the snatch, Emily Campbell from Great Britain with 122 kilos. The world champion, just a kilo behind her at 121. And then we have a bit of a smattering of other athletes. Iovi made 120 kilos. Abbas also made 122 kilos along with Emily Campbell. We saw Nurul Akmal with a 115 kilo snatch. Park Hae-jeong, 119, she's the youngest athlete in the field. And then Santana Krismari also made 116 kilos. So every single athlete here, Max, at 115 kilos or more, which we've not seen at a World Championships in a long time.
Yeah, this is a very tight race here for that silver position and bronze as well. So 138 is actually the first attempt on the board for Santana. I have to wonder if that'll bump up. That's interestingly 3 kilos below the final snatch weight to show just how far Li Wenwen is ahead.
Yep. It is very possible, though, that she's noting the fact that she's going to have to take 2 attempts before anyone else comes out.
Yeah.
And the idea of taking 2 clean and jerks within 5 kilos of each other might be too much with only a 2-minute rest. So she might be opening light, just so she feels a little bit more fresh for that second attempt. Although it currently looks like it would probably bring out Iovi for her opener to separate Santana's first 2 attempts.
Krismari Santana.
So Krismari Santana will come out now.
Intento de envío de República Dominicana, Krismari Santana, 138 kilogramos.
So she's bumped up recently from that 87 kilo category. Her best, I believe, 145 kilos. She did that at the Pan American Championships. But she just snatched the personal best, so she may be able to push above that now.
A little forward on that clean, had to take a couple steps. Very solid jerk, though. Looks to be in
good lift, Santana.
Good shape. So, well, I think she's probably going to jump over that 142 that we see from Iovi.
On the bar for the automatic
probably give herself a little bit more rest.
Santana's second attempt. Iovi to follow.
We'll see, though, if that 142 actually sticks.
139 kilogramos para el segundo intento de envío de Krismari Santana.
So Iovi has made 149 kilos in the past. That's her personal best. So both these athletes opening pretty heavily.
Santana wants more weight, 141, please, loaders. Second attempt.
So having just moved up to the super category, you have to imagine that Santana is finding newfound strength almost week over week, and she's able to gain more and more body weight.
Yeah, for sure. Her 87 kilo numbers are going to be eclipsed pretty significantly, I imagine, over the next few years for her. The extra body weight and really the ability to gain a seemingly unlimited weight, obviously to a point, is just a great training aid.
And with the 87 kilo category now having lost its Olympic slot,
later this evening at
athletes are moving either up or down. Most athletes presumably will drop down, but she's definitely one of the few who's decided to just go for it.
Yeah, and if you're going to move up, you want to do it as early as possible. It's going to take time to build that muscle and to gain that weight, so this is smart for her to be moved up this early in the quad. She looks like she's going to take this 141. Yeah, we saw that Iovie bumped to 145, so.
It's a very small jump.
Yeah, it is uncharacteristically small for a super.
So she is going to come out for it. No more changes to be made from her.
Please welcome back to the platform, Chris Mary Santana, Dominican
final,
Republic.
Coaching cue, a little adjustment there to technique, reminder.
And at this rate, she might not even get a break between second and third attempt if she makes another 3 kilo jump.
Yeah, we only put her at 44. Burning that clock as much as she can. She's at 30 seconds now. Better clean.
Yeah.
Same stellar jerk, though.
Such a strong jerk. Yeah, she's got great ankle mobility. She just catches with her knees so far forward.
Good lift, Santana.
Relatively thighs parallel to the platform.
Yeah, keeps her torso so upright there, allows her to use the strength in her quadriceps.
Dominican Republic.
So, yeah, she's got 142. We'll probably see that declared as her third attempt, then probably around that 130 mark. Probably bump that to 44 is my guess.
Yeah.
Seems like it would be odd to take a 4 kilo jump on that second.
It won't be a personal best though. 145 she's made before.
Oh, nope, she did.
Santana's jumping up. That will take the barbell to
slightly bigger jump.
Yeah.
She withdrew actually.
Representing Ecuador, first
I wonder
attempt.
if her elbow is hurt.
Iovie.
She was moving her elbow around a little bit after walking off on that second. So
yeah, so Chris Maria Santana is now out. 4 made lifts, 116 in the snatch, 141 in the clean and jerk. She took the 141 to move ahead of the leader in the B group.
Yeah.
Who had 256 kilos written in.
Makes sense.
Smart call there, but clearly experiencing some pain. Opening attempt now for Iovie at 145. She snatched brilliantly, one of 4 athletes to go 3 for 3. She made 120 kilos. Very easy clean.
Solid walkout there. That's just perfect.
And we're really seeing these athletes so far really mastering that oscillation in the jerk. You know, with the bar at 25 millimeter diameter rather than 28 millimeter diameter, the oscillation at this sort of 140, 150 kilo weight is much greater than it would be on a men's bar at this sort of weight. We'll see the same level of oscillation, of course, later today, maybe tomorrow with the men. But these athletes are masters of utilizing that stored energy.
Here's Nurul Akmal here taking 145.
Representing Indonesia.
First. So this is 8 kilos off her best clean and jerk. Comfortable opener.
Yeah.
She did match her best snatch earlier in this session. So I wonder if she's got the same thing in mind here in the clean and jerk. Solid clean.
She's very fast, just like in the snatch. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I think she might have lost her lockout right towards the end.
I think I saw that as well. That's unfortunate.
And now she finds herself in the horrible situation of either having to take a 2-minute clock.
2 minutes on the clock.
It's going to take her a while to recover from that, or bump up all the way to 148 kilos and hope that either Abbas or Robles don't bump up.
Yeah, that's potentially a very dangerous move. You're searching for time to recover, then you may lose it, and then be forced to take an even heavier weight as well.
And there already was an elbow band before she started losing it.
Yeah, she's going to definitely want to take 145 again, I think. A minute 30. Getting recovered here, catching her breath. Focusing on what little technique corrections he needs to make. Coach giving her some, potentially, I'm not sure if it's meditative or if it's technical.
It almost looked like a trying to just slow down the heart rate, just slowing the breathing to big breath in, out. She's got 1 minute on the clock. It's really not easy at this kind of body weight to recover so quickly between pretty maximal attempts here in the clean and jerk. They can get away with it in the snatch, but it's not a good place to be in. She did move very fast getting under the bar in the clean. She was strong getting up with it, but definitely a bit of a problem with the lockout. She's got 30 seconds. No rush.
Pretty good clean as well. Definitely a better
looks like a better lift, yeah. Okay, Noor Akmal on the board, 260 kilo total.
She looks exhausted here. She will get a little reprieve though. She bumps at least to 145.
2 minutes on the
Potentially
clock.
we'll see
Akmal
150
remains the athlete at
declared.
146
So
kilograms.
267 kilos is her best total.
Prepare to follow.
She did that with a massive 153 kilo clean and jerk at the Asian Championships a couple of months ago. She's a kilo up on the snatch from what she did then, so if she's able to equal that 153 on her third attempt, it would be a massive 8 kilo jump. She would get a new personal best in the total. But 8 kilos might be a bit too much considering there's two back-to-back attempts.
Egypt first attempt, 148 kilograms.
Yeah, she's asked for 50. So Halima becomes the lifter here at 148. She's got a 122 snatch.
She looks like one of the physically strongest athletes out there. I mean, she just places the bar above her head in the snatch. Pulls with a downward gaze. Be interesting to see if she does the same thing here in the clean and jerk.
This 48 would give her a 270 total.
And we're already at a weight that is heavier than the winning clean and jerk from the women's 87 kilo category.
Yeah, almost a power clean. And a power jerk.
Wow.
Yeah, very comfortable for her.
Yeah, sometimes I forget which athletes are and aren't power jerkers, and then when someone pulls out a power jerk that looks as easy as that, it does take you by surprise. A successful power jerk, an easily made power jerk, always looks a little bit more impressive in many ways. It looks like they're playing with the weight a little bit more than normal.
And Robles has moved up. That will
Robles
fall
has
back
moved
to
up
the
to
platform.
51.
Halima Abbas at 149 kilograms, please. Chaidi to follow.
Vamos a subir un kilogramo, 149 kilogramos y viene para su segundo intento.
Okay, so a minute on the board now.
Adelaide Abbas.
What is Abbas going to ask for?
150, please.
So she wants to jump all the way up to 155 kilos, so that's going to bring out
First attempt.
Drankasorn Chaidi from Thailand, who took the silver in the total last year. She snatched even better this year, and it doesn't look likely that she's going to be able to get a silver medal, and that just... Actually, no, I shouldn't say that. It's possible, but just goes to show how competitive this session is.
Yeah.
We can see that Sarah Robles is there waiting. She'll probably be up in... well, probably 2 athletes will come out, and then she'll be up after that with 151.
IOV once more weight, double call back to the platform. Nurul Akmal, Indonesia,
IOV's
third
bumped
attempt,
up.
150.
So Nurul Akmal now, I wouldn't be surprised if she bumps up again, Max,
Yeah,
to
she might
buy a bit more time.
At rest. It might bring Robles out right now. Nope, Akmal is coming here. Only taking the 5 kilo increase.
So 3 kilos under her best. 3? I think so.
Yep.
I think it's
Yeah.
3, yeah.
153 is her best. Good clean. Very balanced.
Wow, those arms aren't going to hold.
Yeah.
Yeah, she put up a great fight for it, but
Didn't quite have the lockout on that jerk.
No lift, Akmal.
So 151 now is going to bring out Sarah Robles, unless she makes one more increase.
yeah, she's going to be helped off the platform. I mean, she probably took 3 attempts in 5 minutes, which is not a position any weightlifter wants to get into, not least an athlete in this category.
151 kilogramos para el primer
Okay, Sarah Robles now,
intento.
151 kilos. She snatched fantastically with 127. She's already got a silver medal there. 151 kilos would be a strong opener for her. She made 160 kilos back in 2019, but she's not been over 155 in the last couple of years.
Clean is very easy.
And she's going for the power jerk, which is not what Sarah normally does. I wonder if she's experiencing some sort of injury,
Yeah,
some
that
pain perhaps.
jerk was very forward.
Next athlete on the platform.
I don't think it ever actually got back behind her head.
Remains on the barbell.
So, Max, you mentioned
IOV,
earlier that
Ecuador, second
Sarah's
attempt.
probably having to
Robles
compete
follow.
not just with the athletes here, but with Mary Tyson Lappin back home in the USA for the
very
Pan Am
much.
spot. Do you know when those 2 athletes will be able to qualify for that Pan American Championships? Is that,
Well, this
is
is
that
the
what we're
last-
seeing here for
Yeah,
Sarah? And we've
this
already
is-
seen it for Mary?
Her last chance to qualify. Obviously, the total, I believe the total she did to qualify for this will count for that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, this total is definitely not going to move her. Well, with that lift, she's not moving up anything.
No.
She has to make a clean and jerk here to get ahead.
So apparently, we've just been told that she has made that switch to power jerks. We don't have a reason why.
Yeah, it's a bit unorthodox. She was a pretty good split jerker. Possibly just some kind of an injury in the groin or something like that. She's burning that clock. She's got 8 seconds left here.
She did that in the snatch as well. Oh, it's a little bit forward. The jerk looks strong at 145, and it
so
looks
good.
strong again. I was waiting for her to readjust it. I didn't think she was actually going to take that.
She's letting out a laugh here.
Lift, IOV.
Sometimes you make a lift so easily, it's only funny. That's fantastic stuff there. That's 5 for 5 right now for IOV. What
Second
a
attempt
strong
for Sarah
jerk.
Robles, United States.
Robles coming out
IOV to
again for
follow.
151. I don't think they're going to increase. She did not make that successfully.
No, they shouldn't go up. There's nobody to go up to meet.
Yep.
As he said, a clean looks so strong.
You know, the only the major downside here is you're eating up that lead in the snatch.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's burning attempts trying to make an opener, and it just leaves you open on that total.
Outside of Li Wenwen, she's the athlete that everyone's looking to overtake, and this currently is looking good for the athletes in the back room.
151. Made a very solid clean on the first attempt, but power jerked and it was forward. Even stronger clean here.
That's the one.
Yep.
That's the one. She generates so much height on the bar. It doesn't look like she's got a lot of depth that she's going to be able to access in that power jerk. But she drives the bar so high, it really doesn't matter there at 151 kilos. But Max, if she is, for example, only able to get to, who knows, 145 kilos, sorry, 155 kilos, then suddenly athletes like Emily Campbell, Li Wen, not Li Wen, sorry, she's already knows she's okay, but Sun Yun Hee, they're only going to need to get into the low 60s, which they've done before, to overtake her.
Well, we could even see a situation where Park Hye-jung actually passes her because she's 8 kilos behind her with 119 in the snatch, but she's opening at 155, so she could make that ground up.
Park, Sun, and Emily Campbell,
Egypt, second attempt,
and Duan Kasorn, all of them will look to move ahead of Sarah.
Yeah, it's in a session like this with the amount of successful lifts, we have to assume that's going to continue, and you know, any shortness in the total because of a missed lift is going to be painful for these athletes.
$5-kilo jump here for Abbas. Another athlete who power jacks. Oh, I don't know about her right elbow.
I'm not sure if that's
Did she
locked
point
out
to that on the way out?
or if it's just not extended.
Good lift, Abbas.
You know, she checks the scoreboard, so maybe she knows something we don't.
Yeah, that was.
Is the automatic increase.
I didn't see her point to her elbow as though to say that she had a bad lockout, but definitely didn't straighten. But there's no.
I see the jury discussing the elbow.
I wonder if they're a bit too. Are they too late now? Is there a time limit for them?
Stop whatever they want.
Abbas has moved up. That takes the barbell.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think they are though.
The first attempt.
Far from straight. Okay, so here is an athlete looking to get a podium spot. Duan Kasorn Chai-Dee, silver medal from the World Championships last year. She snatched a personal best here at 126 kilos, and now she's opening very heavy for her as well. This is going to move her up way into, well, 281 kilos this would give her. That's going to put her in the lead above Robles.
Very comfortable clean. Oh, she's solid there. Yeah, it's a strong opener. That's what we want to see.
A little bit more speed and depth than some of these other athletes.
You know, she's only a kilo behind Robles in snatch. She's in a great position here. She's got a good clean and jerk. She made 155. She's got a 281, one of the first athletes into that 280 range. Potentially going to be the first breaking over that 290 as well.
Okay, so Park Hye-jung now will come out pretty light for her, but we know that she's got a bit of a elbow issue that she occurred during the snatch. She made 2 for 3 with 119 kilos, which, knowing how strong she is, might keep her in the running for a podium spot, but she's going to have to lift extremely well in the clean and jerk. The stand in the clean shouldn't be an issue, but we'll have to see just how that elbow holds up. 180 block clean she made a few years ago. Pretty
smooth lift.
Elbow seems to hold up all right. And you know what? She didn't look to the elbow at all.
No.
So it doesn't seem to be bothering her. Sometimes that wider grip just puts a little bit of extra stress on the elbow that you don't get in the jerk. The coach taking a quick look at it, the physio, but she seems totally fine, which is great.
Yeah, a lot of times
putting a bit of pressure on it.
An injury or an elbow like that might only bother you in one of the two lifts, either the clean or the snatch or the jerk. So here we have Ayovi out again.
Another 4 kilo jump. She's the first athlete who could go 6 for 6. She's currently made all 5 lifts so far.
The last one was comically easy, I think.
Yeah.
She laughed about it afterwards.
She laughed as she walked off the platform. I think we need to normalize laughing on the platform. Hopefully she can do that for us.
She likes to burn that clock down to the last few seconds, rolls up bar forward, and then sweeps it back in.
Yep, she's down at 10 seconds now. There we go. It's a great clean.
She's got a snappy jerk here.
Very narrow stance.
Oh, so good.
Wow.
6 for 6. She's the look of surprise.
She is thrilled. What a performance.
With that lift,
Ayovi.
6 for 6. A phenomenal day for her. Good.
And that is the best day she could have possibly hoped for. 6 for 6. 120, 155, 275 total. That might be enough, even just off this competition, to give her a total that could potentially keep her in the top 8 in the world and help her in her qualification plans for
representing
Paris.
the United States. Final attempt, Sarah Robles.
So here comes Robles for a 155. This is typical of what she's done recently in a lot of her last competitions.
It's right around the top end of her lifting recently. You'd imagine that the clean wouldn't be too much of a hassle for her. Even the height that she generates in the jerk, it's going to be about the trajectory of that power jerk. So strong.
Yep.
Oh, wow. She's happy about that one as well. I think we heard her screaming before she got any kind of down signal. That's fantastic. And you know, she walked onto the platform a few hours ago to practice waving to the audience. And she came on, she perfectly to plan. She did the waving just as she did it in training.
Yep.
Fantastic stuff there. And that's got to be the biggest total that she's hit in a long time. 282 kilos. That is massive.
You know, the other thing is she's actually a Masters lifter as well, or will be next year. She's 34, so probably one of the oldest competitors, if not the oldest competitor here. So her long and varied career has been very fruitful.
Now, what's amazing is that 282 that she just hit, that's equal to the winning total from last year from this athlete, Sun Young Hee, who's going to, of course, look to move ahead of that total today.
Very powerful pull there.
And that she has a pretty impressive use of the jerk. Although her elbow might be wobbly.
I think we're getting possible red lights there. No,
Good
3 white.
There we go, 3 white lights. The jury are straight away in. They want to take a look.
The jury has elected to
Didn't let her have any time to
Yeah.
rejoice in a nice opening lift.
Look at that left elbow.
Her
It looks like
oscillation
it-
is just
That's
amazing.
so close.
So close. You know, didn't they do this to her in the snatch as well, on her opening attempt?
Oh yeah, I
The
believe so.
jury took a look and then they confirmed that it was a good look, a good lift.
Yeah, that does look to be a good lift here. I think we're seeing some nods.
It's maybe not as
You know,
good as her opening snatch was, but
it's that recovery, that bringing the feet together,
yeah, it moves.
the momentary lapse of tension in the shoulder might cause that elbow to buckle a tiny bit.
So they're still deliberating on this.
The jury has confirmed the referee's decision.
Okay,
Good
once again,
lift, Sun.
they clearly are interested in Sun Young Hee's lifting, but they confirmed that the referees got it right first time, so that's a good lift.
The most validated lifter in this session.
Yeah.
2 jury approvals here.
Emily Campbell.
Okay, Emily Campbell now. This is a massive opening attempt for her. 157 kilos. Her best clean and jerk, 162. She did that at the Commonwealth Games this year. She's been over 160 kilos twice in her career. The other time was at the Olympic Games, where she leapfrogged Emily Campbell for the silver medal behind Lee Wen-Wen. But 157, this is big. She hit 152 in the training hall just a few days ago. In fact, I saw her hit over 160 kilos in training just a few months ago as well, so she's definitely in shape for this at the moment.
Good clean, just a little bit forward.
She gets very narrow in the jerk. Okay, she looks like she looks a little bit tired. Doesn't look quite right there. Didn't generate as much height as we'd normally see from her in the jerk.
Stays on the barbell.
Yeah, that was a bit uncharacteristic for Emily.
Yeah.
Chidi, Thailand.
You know, she's just been so incredibly consistent over the last year or two that you've just come to expect that she's going to make her lifts, which is perhaps a relatively unfair expectation to place on her shoulders. She's still an athlete like everyone else. She can miss lifts, but it's always a little bit more surprising when she does miss them.
Yeah, very much.
Now, are we going to see some athletes bump up to try and force
so.
her back out?
157, still on the barbell.
So Chidi bumps up.
Halima,
Emily Campbell has bumped up as well.
Oh, wow. Possibly in anticipation of Halima maybe taking this attempt. Well, no, she didn't have to take that increase.
Abbas will take this 157. So Emily has put a weight in for a second attempt that would put her in bronze. Final attempt now for Abbas. This for bronze as well so far.
Slow pull and just didn't have that speed on the turnover. So
she's fast off the floor, but doesn't speed up again.
Campbell put 58 in, 59 in, so she could get ahead of Chidi here at 158, but I just can't see a 3 kilo jump in the
But it would equal Chidi's total.
Yeah. Second attempt, time begins.
Let's see here.
But whether she does or doesn't make this, Emily will move up to third.
She will, yeah. A bit small of a jump here in the clean and jerk, just 3 kilograms.
But you know what? She's probably looking at this and thinking, I just need to move above Sarah Robles. Sarah's in the lead. I'll get above her by another couple of kilos. Then she becomes the athlete that people try to move ahead of.
Yeah, this is a much more tactical session, much more conservative attempts here. Lots of makes as well.
Smart play from Team Thailand here. Hopefully she can execute the plan of the coaches.
Pretty good clean. She had to stand up from a dead stop, though.
Ooh, that is very well held. Phenomenal lifting there by Chidi. She's 5 for 5 now. And that moves her ahead of Sarah Robles. So she now is up at 284. Sarah's at 282.
On the barbell. Second attempt.
We have to assume that we're only really looking for 2 athletes here to get on the podium, because we know that Lee Wen-Wen will move past them all once she opens up. So we have a few athletes looking for silver and bronze. Park Hye-jeong, a 4 kilo jump. This not to move up into the medals. Oh, it is. Momentarily bronze. But also these athletes at this point are looking for clean and jerk medals.
Yeah, we know that this won't be enough to hold on once Lee Wen-Wen opens up. Bit of a tough recovery.
Yeah, she didn't quite time the bounce there. Oh dear.
Wow.
Okay, she's made this in competition before as a junior. She is still a junior.
No lift.
She is kind of moving that elbow around again now. I wonder if that's causing her more problems.
159.
And you know, interestingly, as soon as she got into the hole there in the clean, she started standing up straight away, but there's almost a requirement to pause ever so briefly once you're at these sort of weights, because the oscillation in the bar requires that you sit there for a fraction of a second, wait for the barbell to start moving back up, and then come up with it. But because she came up early, the bar was still wrapping down around her, and she had to sort of fight against it.
Yeah, that timing has to be perfect if you're going to capitalize on any of the elasticity of the bar.
Okay, so this attempt, again, just moves her into bronze. It doesn't... She is in bronze. This is going to keep her in bronze. It's going to move her a little bit closer to Sarah Robles, who's in silver, but it's not going to overtake her. This equals what she hit last year, becoming a world champion.
Strong pull. You'd have to stand up from a dead stop. Okay, so looked like a good jerk there.
Else.
Good
3 whites.
lift zone.
Yep, 3 whites,
No
good lift.
jury
Did they?
No. No jury stop.
No jury stop.
Second
Good.
attempt.
Yeah, I don't think they can't really do that again.
Campbell.
Giving her a couple of heart attacks already.
Okay, Emily Campbell now will come out with this. She already missed 157, so she needs a lift.
Campbell's moved up. Okay, wow, that's a bold move.
Well, the 159 would have moved her into bronze. It would have bumped Sun Young Hee down. But, of course, bronze won't hold once Lee Wen Wen opens. So she might be playing a game where she's just going massive, and she's just going to look to try and get, you know, above Sarah Robles.
Yeah, the only risk there is if she misses this one, then where does she go?
Yeah.
Such a precarious position to be in.
She's going to need 161 kilos to do it. If she hits 161, Emily will, which she's now just asked for, that will put her at 283, which will move her ahead of Sarah Robles, behind Chai Di.
Getting some final words of encouragement there from Dave Sawyer.
But of course, so Chai Di is now just extending her lead. She's in a very, very strong position. She looks probably like she's going to wrap up silver, and we're going to see the battle between Sarah Robles, who's finished but set the mark, Sun Young Hee and Emily Campbell to get the bronze. Of course, Lee Wen Wen will move into the lead once she opens at 170. Brilliant progress here from Chai Di from this time last year.
Yeah, she's taking some conservative jumps here. Only 3 in the first and 2 on the second here.
This is a monster lift.
Good
so strong. Oh my word, it's 6 for 6 for Duran Kasor and Chai Di, extending that lead all the way to 286 kilos. Surely, Max, that is enough to
6 for 6
push
today.
Emily
World
Campbell and
Championships,
Sun Young Hee away from trying to overtake her.
Now, 160 on the bar. Park, Hyek Jong, Korea, third attempt.
Emily needs to not come out now, unless Park is...
Nope, they've got the wrong lifter on there. The problem is the
Park Hyek may have pulled out potentially, given the injury to the elbow.
161, please.
Yeah.
Alternatively, she's going to just bump up and look for a medal in the clean and jerk. She can't medal in the total, but she could in the clean and jerk.
So Park went up to 61 here, so Campbell's up. Second attempt. She missed her first by a pretty wide margin. It wasn't a very good attempt at the jerk.
It's hard to explain how much Emily Campbell has done for the sport in Great Britain. Her performances at the Olympics, the World Championships, the Commonwealth Games, the European Championships have grown the popularity of the sport so much. She's a hero to so many weightlifters out there. And now she finds herself in a very difficult situation. If she makes it, she moves up into silver.
Great
it's a better clean than on her opener. Oh,
Beautiful
my
jerk.
word. I think she's going to hold
She
it.
threw her front foot out there as far
word.
as you possibly could. Just shows how athletic she truly is.
What a moment.
Yeah.
You know, she probably took the jump that she would have taken anyway, so she almost finds herself in a situation where it's like she did miss her opening attempt.
Exactly.
283.
She is the leader now.
But you know what? I mean, what's presumably Sun Young-hee is going to have to, what is this, 283. So Park Hye-jung will go first. Sun Young-hee is then going to go for 263 to move back ahead of Emily into silver. Emily's asking for 164, which would then move her
Probably
from...
gonna.
Well, that would
only give her 286.
So she's
gonna go 65.
Yeah. Unless Sun Young-hee hits it and she just wants to get the bronze back.
Yeah.
Okay, Park Hye-jung now 161. She missed 159 on the jerk. It's a strong clean. Can the elbow hold?
Yeah, just a touch out of position.
You know, sometimes an athlete has these enormous training numbers and they just can't quite put it together on the day on the platform.
Yeah.
She's still a junior, the only junior in the platform, in the session.
Sun Young-hee, 161, please.
So
Okay, Sun Young-hee is dropping down to 161. She's not going for it.
yeah, she probably
She's going
wants that
for the
bronze.
medal
Thank you,
in
voters,
the
doing a
clean and
fantastic
jerk.
job here.
A bit more
The World
conservative for
Championships.
sure. Only a 2-kilo jump from her second attempt.
She's not going for a medal in the total, which means
Time begins.
that Emily Campbell has got a medal in the total, as does Chai-Di Dang-son, and then presumably Lee Wen-wen will take the gold. Incredible that the world champion is deciding, you know what, I'm going to go for a clean and jerk medal instead. This will give her the bronze in the clean and jerk.
Very good clean.
She's so strong when she stands up.
Ooh. Just wasn't there.
Yeah. And you know, once again, we see Team Korea all lifting less than they lifted at the Korean Games 2 months ago. They're all in the shape of their lives there. You have to assume that they peaked so hard for that, they just weren't able to get back to that level again at this World Championship.
Great Britain.
So
surely Emily will go for 65.
she's dropped down to 63, it looks like.
No, but she has, but why?
163, please, voters. Thank
Seemingly
you.
odd attempt.
If she, I mean, she's already in the lead in the clean and jerk, so it doesn't matter if she does this. She should go to 165, which will move her a kilo ahead of Chai-Di Dang-son.
She has a shot at getting that silver in the total.
She would go, she took the bronze last year. She's never gotten the silver at the World Championship. She did it at the Olympics. And there we go, there's a change, 165 kilos. This is what we want to see. This will be a personal best. She's an athlete who just brings it on the day of the competition. She made 164 in training. She made 162 at the Commonwealth Games. This is the biggest lift that she's ever attempted on the competition platform, and I don't believe she's ever attempted it in training either. This lift is absolutely massive for Emily. It's massive for Team GB. She's the face of British weightlifting, and it's obvious why. This will momentarily move her from silver into gold. That will eventually become a position down. She's got to get up with
Grinds it out.
Oh my word.
What a save.
Oh my
what a
word.
fight.
We have never seen Emily Campbell get that kind of weight overhead when she struggles with the clean like that. That is astonishing. And that's the save on that jerk. She was she did not catch that weight right.
She is a hero to many, and that was the most heroic attempt I've seen all day.
A superhero.
The widest split you could possibly make.
I need to see a replay of this jerk. It's not the easiest clean. We've never seen a struggle like that in the stand. And the jerk, watch, she just takes a few steps forward, somehow maintains that lockout. And the Olympic silver medalist is now a world silver medalist as well.
Truly an amazing attempt.
Unbelievable. Li Wenwen, as you'd expect, drops her opener down to 166 kilos. Just 3 attempts remaining. This is not going to be particularly difficult for her.
She's done 187 kilograms before.
Yeah, so 21 kilos down on her best. This will wrap up all 3 golds for Li Wenwen. She pulls that bar so high.
Yeah, very easy.
Max, we've not seen Li Wenwen do a clean and jerk or a snatch in the training hall in the last 10, 11 days.
It's absolutely extraordinary to me when you told me
that. She does that.
She
squats heavy, she deadlifts very heavy in the training hall. She's done that every time I've seen her at a competition. And then she turns up and snatches and clean and jerks enormous weights.
Yeah, it's truly incredible to hear that she does almost no specific practice into the meet. Literally 0 snatching. We'll see what she decides to do here. She really doesn't need to do anything. She's wrapped it all up. She has golds across the board.
Wow, I mean, look at that. Emily Campbell, 287. Chaidi Dankerson, who beat Emily last year. They've reversed places there. Bronze to silver becomes silver to bronze with 286. Right now, Sarah Robles
we would like to say thank you
in the
to
4th
our
position,
here today.
5 for 6. A great performance from Sarah, but not quite enough to hold on to a medal position. And Sun Young Hee, the world champion, falls in 5th place.
Emily Campbell,
what a hero.
Basically the fight of her life. I mean, the most heroic attempts you could take.
What a hero.
Came from behind on that snatch. Missed that opening clean and jerk, takes a massive jump to a second, really completely exposed, vulnerable to potentially bombing out, makes it, then takes a lift that just inspires everybody, I assume.
And then we saw some new dance moves. I think that was the running man on the platform we saw.
70 kilograms, second attempt.
Okay, just a 4 kilo jump here for Li Wenwen. She seems to be China's most sure pick for the Olympic Games out of men and women in any category.
There's no one that can contest with her.
No, it doesn't matter if you're Shizi Yong or Tian Tao or Yao Chiyun. It's going to be Li Wenwen who's the first athlete the Team China put on that Olympic spot. The most sure win in weightlifting.
Very easy 170 clean. And jerk.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we are seeing one of the most impressive weightlifters of all time, really, here. She's already at 311. That lift looked like... is she done?
I have to believe she's done.
Yeah, really, now bowing.
What more does she need?
Is there an obvious reason why she went for that, other than just when was the last time she didn't put 3 reds on the bar?
Yeah.
That might be it. She just likes to get 3 reds on.
Maybe she didn't do any training this week, so she could save it for the workout she had today, because it really wasn't even a maximum.
Yeah,
not even maximum lift.
She did 180 kilos at the Olympic Games, 187 at the Asian Championships, 186 at the World Championships in 2019. But today I think she's going to wrap things up there. 141 in the snatch, 170 in the clean and jerk. I'd be shocked if she came back out. But Max, we actually saw one of the athletes from Team China.
And she has declined her 3rd attempt.
She's withdrawn.
Wave and say that they were done after the second and then come out for a world record. But yep, she has declined. So that is it. That's the women's plus 87 kilo category. It had, it was everything that we thought it was going to be. We all knew that Li Wenwen would win, and she did. 141, 170, 311 total. And then, Max, we said that the battle for the medals was going to be between Emily Campbell and the two Koreans. As it turned out, it was between Emily Campbell and Shaidi Dankasorn from Thailand, who's improved a lot since she last competed at the Southeast Asian Games. Prior to that was the World Championships. Sun Young-hee couldn't quite hold on, but we had 5 weightlifters at 280 or above, which we've not seen in a long time.
Yeah.
So silver medal to Emily Campbell from Great Britain, bronze medal to Shaidi Dankasorn, 6 for 6. 2 athletes managed it. The other, of course, Iovi from Ecuador. And the runner-up with 282, but the silver in the snatch, Sarah Robles. We're going to be back in half an hour for the men's 109 kilo category. We have the return of 2016 Olympic champion Ruslan Nuradinov. We'll see you all there.